Hi, welcome back to this video. This is kind of like part 2 on the TR8 stuff. So in the previous video on the TR8 I looked at basically the piano roll and the sequencer and mapping the notes, so we actually just send the note MIDI messages to the TR8 to get the sounds out of it. You can also send Midi CC messages to affect some of the controls of the TR8, which is what this one's about. Just before I do that, I realised on one of the other videos I did say I was going to sort of show you how when I press play on here on the iPad everything else starts playing. So if I just show you that now, I'll try and get the camera back a little bit. So if I press play, I'll try and get it there. Okay, so hopefully you can see that the TR8 started playing. The whatever this is called, is this lovely silver box. The TB03 is playing. You can see the Volca bass is playing. If I stop it, you'll see that stops. Then over this side, I'll play again. It's triggering the MX1. The Volca keys isn't playing for some reason. And the Electribe is playing as well because that's getting a MIDI clock from the MX1. I know why the Volca keys isn't playing, because I forgot to turn the system one on to complete the circuit. So if I press play now, there we go, you can see the Volca keys is coming on, and hopefully you can see that the tempo on the system one is flashing in time as well. So it's pretty cool. We can start everything sequencing together then straight from the iPad app. Right, let me just adjust this camera angle slightly. I'll get it as close as I can. Right, so let's just go back to that page just to clear it out a little bit. So I've got the same pattern that I had in before, which is just this thing. I'll play it off here. I need controls. Just turn it up a little bit. Okay, move that along there, right, excellent. So we've got that pattern playing. If you remember from your, oh, shut up. So from in here, MIDI mapping stuff, we've got, if you look at this section here, we've got a button for CCs, we've got a button for chords, which is not relevant for now, we'll deal with that later. Now we've got the pad. So what I've done is I've dragged two different things in here. What I found out is, I think actually, let me just try this. If I put, because I've already got these in here, because this messed up my thing before. So if we just put the TR8 onto the CCs, okay, just drag them in there. Okay, it kind of fills that page up. If I go over to the pads, it's actually put in the one in that doesn't work. If you watch the other video, you'll know what I mean. So what I then need to do is go into my mapping and just stick that on there, and it gives me all the pads again, and then the CCs unfortunately have disappeared. So in this CCs folder we've got the TR8 CCs. Now I'm not sure if that was there before or whether that's I've done that. I'm not sure. If it's not there before, you can download it actually from the Modstep website and stick it in. There's instructions how to do it on there. That might be there as a standard thing anyway. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is if I just drag the CCs template into here, my pads are now still okay. So if these little boxes here, because these relate to the X and Y pads you'll see in a minute, these bits aren't filled. If you just click autofill, it's going to fill it with all these bits in here. So if I now go over to we'll do that with you in a second. Let's look at the XY pads first. So this is in the step sequencer. So we've got shuffle, which generally I wouldn't use on here because I'm going to, if I want to do a swing feel, I'll do it off here. And you've got basically all the stuff that you can send MIDI CC things to on the TR8 are mapped out in here. So the ones that I think would probably be of benefit that you might want to automate, something like delay. Let's see if that works. So if we click on that, and we'd need the feedback up a bit as well, but hopefully you can sort of see it's giving it an amount I need on the TR8 because I've not got any steps activated, I don't think, for the delay. Right, no, I'm not going to do it with a delay, I'm going to do it on the reverb. So if I just put everything on, so I was going to get rid of that and that. So if we scroll across, we can see we've got all the tune facilities. We've got scatter. So let's try scatter. So we've got scatter type and scatter depth. Now, okay, it's kind of doing something. I'm not sure how easy the scatter is going to be, because I think generally I'm pretty sure the scatter stuff works only when you've got internal patterns on the TR8. But anyway, that's something you can have a play about with. Reverb level. Okay, so yeah, that works. So you can hear we've got masses of reverb, and then we can change the gate and so on. Okay, so anything that takes, you can control the Midi CC message, you can use it on this. Let's just turn this off a second. Then oops, sorry, just smashed the camera with my hands. Let's get that back in there. Right, sorry about that. So yeah, I think the only thing would be useful on this, I think, because if you got your XY pad there and then you go to another one and your XY pad is there, when you go back, you would hope it would sort of jump to that other thing. You've got to kind of get up and catch where it was. So sort of a little bit of, you know, sort of memory on that would be quite useful. But I can sort of see uses for this on the drums. For example, let's say we want to like the snare drum decay and things like that. And the snap. Not necessarily stuff you don't want to automate, but obviously you can control it from here. Personally, I would, for things like that, I personally would prefer to actually get hands-on and use the knobs and the dials on the TR8. There's a gag there about I liking to touch knobs, but I won't go there. So one useful thing I could think of would be, if I can find it, sort of like the bass drum tune. So let's see, if we put the decay right up on the kick, we can then do, where is it? I've seen it a minute ago. Where are you? Bass drum volume, and you can, I think you can kind of put these in any way you want, order you want. Bass drum tune is there. Okay, so we could actually automate that. We could record that, which is in here. Okay, so if I find, going along here, bass drum tune is already selected. Okay, if I draw in here, okay, you've got to make sure that one's, I haven't got it turned on there, so you can see. Okay, it's going crazy on the bass drum. If you want to delete that, you just go into the edit mode, just kind of rub your finger across. It's going to get rid of all those nodes. So, come out of edit mode. Let's say we want it just to kind of go up, so we could put a node at the beginning, node at the end. Okay, so that, I mean, that to me would be quite a useful kind of thing, automating things like that. I mean, a lot of the other things, such as, you know, the compression on the kick drum and the decay on the snare, you probably just leave those set anyway. I could see it'd be quite useful for sort of, I don't know if you wanted to automate some reverb building in and something like that. Not sure how the scatter would work. Let's just have another go at that, because I'm not sure whether that's gonna. I'm going to turn that auto. So you can turn your automation on and off. Okay, just by, or not. No, it's decay. Sorry. So if you just make it so it's dark blue, okay, it will turn it off. And let's just get that decay down a bit. Right, let's just try, we'll go into here again. Where's the scatter? So scatter type, I'm going to leave that, scatter depth. We put that there. Oh, it does work, yeah, okay, that's quite cool. Okay, it's a little bit hit and miss on what you scatter type. Oh no, actually, because if you look on, right, as I move that, if I just move that to the scatter wheel there, you can see it's actually moving it on the TR8. How cool is that? Okay, so you can see where your scatter is, and actually the ability to be able to automate your scatter, I think, is pretty cool. Because you can't do that normally on your TR8. Awesome. Right, so obviously you've got all the controls there. It's up to you what you do with it. It's just down to using your imagination, really. I think that's pretty much everything I've covered. Obviously, scales is not relevant for the drums. Word of warning, though, make sure your scales are on none, because if you have it on a scale, it's going to eliminate some of the notes and you won't get the correct drums. Sorry, I'm just turning all the reverb off on the TR8. Yeah, you won't get all the correct notes. So make sure your scales is off when you're using the TR8. Mods, obviously, down here is for our automation down there. Velocity, I think I've already covered. So you can change your velocity in that view or in that view, which I think we had a look at before. Obviously, you've got your controls there. Other controls in here. Now, we should have, and this doesn't seem to work for some reason, a note repeat like you have on push, which I did get it working earlier on the System 1 when I tried it on that, but for some reason I can't get it to work on the drums, and I'm not sure why. Covered all those on the last one. Again, that's the speed thing, same as I covered on the earlier videos of whether you want to play it faster or slower. Yeah. So I don't know why the note repeat doesn't work on the drums, which would be, would be kind of quite useful to use a drum fill thing. Right, I'm just going to have a quick play with that, see if I can get that working. Right, yes, that was very easy. I know why. The pattern has to be playing to get the repeat. Okay, so if I start it... Oops, sorry. Okay, and you've got note repeat on. Okay, so, yeah. Obviously, you can have, like, different... so you've got, like, eighth notes, triplets, 16ths. Okay, which would be quite good actually for going crazy. You can MIDI map these pads as well. If you go to MIDI map, anything that has a blue circle round it, you can map to any MIDI controller. So you'd click on that, you'd click on the button. I've not got anything I can click on at the moment to show you. That's something I'll perhaps have a go at doing. So you could assign these, have that on note repeat and assign that to some sort of touchpad, launch pad kind of thing. So yeah, the possibilities of this are endless. The more I play with it, the more I realise actually how much you can do with it. And yes, it was not a cheap app for 20 quid, but it does a lot. So I'm really happy with this, and I think this is something I'm going to incorporate a lot. Not necessarily for studio writing, but I'm thinking for live performance, to eliminate having to rely on a computer. I know a lot of people will say, well, an iPad is sort of still a computer, but then again, if you look at the TB3 or the TB03, it says the original TB303, and it says it on the new TB03, the boutique one. It says on it, computer controlled. So if you don't want a computer controlling it, you can't use any of this, because they're all controlled technically by computers. So therefore, rant over. But yes, I'm on about kind of playing live without a PC. I think it's a possibility with this, and this is something I'm going to try over the next few weeks. I'm going to try and build up a live set. So I'm going to transfer a lot of my MIDI patterns from Ableton Live into this, and just see how I get on with it from a live point of view, as opposed to doing it all with push. So, it means taking less gear out on the road and less stuff to rely on, which would be good. This does have as well, which I'll cover in later tutorials, but you've got some built-in instruments. You've got like a synth. Looks pretty basic, but we can get some reasonable sound out of it. But the main thing is we've got a sampler. So you can actually, any samples you want, we can just drag them in and stick it there. Stick it on there. No, I've got to put it down there. Okay, and yeah. And it comes with a load of samples built in as well, which is going to be pretty cool. I've not really had a chance to play with those, but the sampler will be something for a future video. So thanks for watching this one. I pretty much think I've covered everything on the TR8 with this. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and please help spread the word about my channel and my music. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.